OPT denials. Okay, first of all, OPT is basically the optional practical training. This is what you receive after you graduate from a US institution, depending on the institution, if you're on an F1 visa. So what happens right now is we are seeing a bunch of denials, mostly because OPT was not meeting the 30-day rule. This is one important rule that is causing big problems. It used to be they were not that strict, but now they're very strict on it. Even one day it will cost you. OPT denied because of overuse of CPT. For example, if you took CPT basically full time, you probably will not be eligible for OPT. OPT also denied because service transfer was not properly done, or the service was transferred too early. An example, some people who come here and then after a few weeks transfer to another school. We are seeing a lot OPT being denied on that. OPT because the DSO forgot to properly update the service. OPT denied, I mean. OPT denied because the paperwork on the I-765 was filed with the wrong code. We're going to focus on the 30-day rule, but we wanted to mention those first. First of all, let's go into the categories. The I-765. Actually, I took this content from the USCIS. There might be some changes now with the 24-month STEM OPT, but the main code that you use when you file the I-765 form, there's a code that you have to use, right? So for C3A is for pre-completion of OPT, C3B post-completion of OPT, and then you have the C3C, which might have changed right now, I think, for the 24-month, but I'm not sure. I have to double check. Then those are the rest are for M1, etc., but that's not beyond our scope of the discussion today. So for the academic year, you have to one full academic year of school. It's always misinterpreted, and also sometimes we ourselves, when we do those cases, we think that you have to be on F1 for 1 year. Then you can get the OPT, but that's not really the rule. You have to be on 1 year in academic enrolled, but you have to be at least 9 months on the F1. Although there's no need to really be on the F1 for the full 1 year, you can still apply for OPT. And I know a lot of time people ask me, and technically it's usually that 1 year rule, because we've seen denial on those, but the exact rule is you have to be 1 year in that school, and at the time when you file for the OPT you have to be on the F1, and you can file 90 days before you complete your course, and basically you have to be an F1 at this point. So to be on the safe side, we recommend people to be full 1 year on their OPT. Next, the job of course has to be related to the major area of study. You cannot be using the OPT in some other field. They used to pretty much not really care about that, but recently it's been very strict on that. So make sure you're in area of study, and I think more and more they're going to start digging and basically auditing companies hiring people outside their major area of study. So be ready for that. This probably will be the next level of their crackdown. And also pre-completion OPT. These are basically the time that you get on the pre-completion. Usually it's a part-time, and it will be calculated at a ratio of 2 to 1. For example, if you basically kind of you have a 12-month and you are using 6 months, but actually it's 20 hours per week. That makes it only 3 months. So make sure you calculate properly to get your OPT, because that pre-completion OPT will be excluded from the total amount of time. And the validity period is what is mentioned by your DSO, the end date recommended by the DSO, and whichever comes first will be the one that will be controlling. So make sure that you calculate your time also. Now, post-completion OPT, you can work full-time, and you also You must begin work no later than 60 days after your course is completed. It's very important that you do that. Now, the most important part now what we are discussing is that 30-day rule. So properly you should file the form I-765, which is the EAD OPT 90 days prior to the end of the program, and not 60 days not 60 days later on the end date. The form must be filed within 30 days of the date the DSO recommends the OPT in service by updating the student record service. Okay, this is the part that many people are confused. Is at the time the DSO recommends it, not any other times. Even they reprint the I-20, it doesn't kind of tell the time. So the first time it's recommended is the time you have to start counting. And if you don't file your OPT within that time, you will have a problem. So be very careful. It is major, because this is what's causing a lot of denials right now. So for the period will start on the date recommended by the DSO, and of course the date ended that we covered that earlier. So do not confuse the DSO when the DSO recommends the OPT by updating the student service record. And there's an example I'm going to show which the USCIS use, and it is the OPT employment requested date in the event history, not the date the I-20 was issued or signed. That begins the 30 days filing clock as specified under the 8 CFR section 214.2 F11 IB2. So what it means here, look at the example here they gave. So basically they requested the OPT on 5/31. That means you have 30 days from that, which make it 6/29 if I'm not mistaken. But here they reprinted the I-120. That doesn't make you get your 30 days from that second date. It's the first date that you have to consider. So make sure you're filing on time as from 30 days. And this is a very good example they give there. And of course the new STEM OPT, the new rules, we have a video on that. We'll put the link below. So rules are a little bit different now on the new OPT STEM extension. And the 30-day rule issues is what is kind of triggering this video today. We wanted to alert students to be very careful and make sure make sure that their DSO are following the rules. Unfortunately, most students don't even know what is on the calendar of the DSO, but make sure from now on you don't miss the deadlines, because they are not going to be forgiving. And now the solution is, one of the solution is, hopefully if it's returned on time, you can still refile, you might be okay. But unfortunately appealing, or I mean there's no appeal, but motion to reconsider might not be helpful at this point. So you need to basically be looking what your DSO is doing, unfortunately, and you have to do that now. And of course, anything I'm telling you today, ladies and gentlemen, is for educational purposes only. You should not act or refrain to act solely on the information provided. Please check our website. And also, I made a mistake here, it's facebook.com/F1OPT. Please go ahead and make sure that you like the page in there and check our website. Good luck to you, wish you all the best, and I will be back after this with another video.